Hello everybody, and thank you guys for tuning in this video. My name is Cole Martins. In today's episode we'll be talking about part 2 of week 13 in the NFL. If you missed part 1, you can of course watch this before this video or after this video. All you have to do is go down to the description below, click on the link, and it'll take you right to that video. We're going to start off this video with the NFC playoff picture right now, as with 5 weeks remaining left in this season. So far the standings right now, no changes in the playoff picture from last week, as Dallas remains in first place with a 10-1 record. Seattle remains in second with a 7-3-1 record. Detroit is third with a 7-4 record, and Atlanta is fourth with a 7-4 record. And then for the wild card, the New York Giants right now fifth place with an 8-3 record, and Washington hold on to the final playoff spot with a 6-4-1 record. Then player teams that are still in the playoff hunt: Tampa Bay and Minnesota right now have a 6-5 record. New Orleans, Green Bay, and Philadelphia with a 5-6 record. Arizona with a 4-6-1 record. And the Carolina Panthers and Los Angeles Rams just barely hanging on there with a 4-7 record. Now we'll head on to part 2 here, and we'll start with our 1 o'clock game here in part 2, Eastern Standard Time, as we have the Detroit Lions taking on the New Orleans Saints. Detroit come to this game 7-4 with a very big win against the Minnesota Vikings last week on Thanksgiving, giving them the NFC North lead, and right now on a 3-game winning streak. The Saints come to this game 5-6 and picking up a win against the Los Angeles Rams, keeping their playoff hopes alive. And this one, I think it's going to be a very close game, just like all Detroit Lions games this year. And I'm going to go with the Detroit Lions in this one. I think this offense is going to be able to click a little more, and the defense is going to be able to prevent the Saints from scoring better than the Saints defense will, as this is going to be a battle of the offenses in this one. But Stafford, we've seen how great he can play with comebacks all this year. I think he's got another one in store in this one, and that is why I think the Detroit Lions are going to beat the New Orleans Saints 34-31 on the road. Next, we start our 4 o'clock games Eastern Standard Time, as the Buffalo Bills take on the Oakland Raiders. And this one, Buffalo comes in 6-5 with a win over the Jacksonville Jaguars. And then for the Oakland Raiders, they come to this game 9-2 with a win over the Carolina Panthers, which was a very close game, as they looked like they pretty much had that game on lock at halftime. I actually came back to watch in the fourth quarter. The Panthers had the lead. Oakland did end up coming back and beating them, of course, and right now moves them up to a 5-game winning streak now and remain first place in the AFC West. And that's what I'm going to go with the Oakland Raiders. I think the Bills are going to give them a little bit more of a game than most people would think. Those teams that are fighting for the playoff spots are a little more die or win or die kind of mode. So I'm surprised the Buffalo Bills give a lot of pressure on this Oakland Raiders team. But I think Derek Carr and company are going to do a good job in this game. And they are at home in the Black Hole, and I think the Raiders are going to win this one at home 27-24. Next game, we have the Washington Redskins taking on the Arizona Cardinals. Washington comes to this game 6-4-1 after suffering a loss to the Dallas Cowboys last week in an NFC East divisional matchup, which was huge for the Washington to pick up the win, but weren't able to do it. But still hold on to that 6th and final playoff spot. And the Arizona Cardinals come to this game 4-6-1 after suffering a big loss to the Atlanta Falcons, and this the Arizona team just seems like they could not get things going all season long. They have the players to do it, they just cannot find the right plays or just making too many mistakes on the field. And this one, I think it's not going to be good for Arizona once again, as I think the Washington Redskins are going to pick up the win in this one. Kirk Cousins, amazing game last week, 4 touchdowns and pretty much almost played perfect football. I think he did have 1 interception in that game, though. I think that was the one mistake he really made. But Kirk Cousins looking better and better each week and showing why he deserves that big contract. And right now, this Arizona defense, they are able to play on one player, but it seems like the rest of the defense is not able to step up with Peterson right now. And that's why I think the other receivers for this Washington Redskins team are going to be able to take advantage of that, as I believe they'll be covering Crowler, so I just leave Jackson and Garcon open, so that should be pretty dangerous here for this Washington Redskins team. And that is why I think the Redskins are going to win on the road in a close one over the Cardinals, 20-17. Next, we have the New York Giants taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. And this one, the Giants come in 8-3 if they win over the Cleveland Browns last week and increase their winning streak to now 6 games. And the Pittsburgh Steelers come in this game 6-5 and they pick up a win on Thanksgiving against the Indianapolis Colts. And this one, I'm going to go with the home team, the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's going to be a very interesting game. 2 very powerful offenses on each side. one more receiving, one more balance, as the Steelers, the more balanced team with Le'Veon Bell in the backfield and a lot of threat receivers on their team. Of course, with a great quarterback as well as Ben Roethlisberger. But I think Eli is going to end up throwing a couple of interceptions this one, which will cost this Giants team. That's why I think the Steelers are going to win this one at home against the Giants, 27-24. Our next game, we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking on the San Diego Chargers. Tampa Bay comes to this game 6-5 with a very, very shocking win against the Seattle Seahawks, who they only allowed 5 points to. So a great job of this Tampa Bay defense. They shut down Russell Wilson and company, which is they have looked very, very strong all season. And Tampa Bay right now on a 3-game winning streak. San Diego Chargers come to this game 5-6 with a win against the Houston Texans, and right now trying to make a move for a wild card spot in the AFC. Right now, I believe they are 2 games out of that wild card spot. So right now, hoping for some losses by the Miami Dolphins and Denver as well. And this one, I'm actually going with the San Diego Chargers. They are at home in this one. I think Philip Rivers could have a good game against this Tampa Bay defense. This will be a close one, though. It depends on how Jameis Winston plays, I believe. But I'm going to go with the Chargers beating the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at home, 21-17. Now we head to Sunday Night Football, where the Carolina Panthers take on the Seattle Seahawks. Carolina comes to this game 4-7 after suffering a loss to Oakland, like I mentioned earlier. Very good game between those two. Carolina had a power to come back in that game and take the lead late. Oakland was able to come back and pick up the victory in that one. Then for the Seattle Seahawks, they come to this game 7-3-1 after taking a surprising loss to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers last week, but they remain first in the NFC West. In this one, I'm going to go with the Seattle Seahawks. They're at home. It's hard to beat this team at home, I believe. In Carolina, they're showing a little more life every week, but right now I think their playoff hopes are pretty much about to be dashed, especially if they do lose one more game. They're pretty much counted out of the playoffs in my mind. But I think the Seahawks are the better team in this one. I think this defense is going to step up after they didn't have a bad week last week, only allowing 13 points, but I think they're going to keep their groove going. I think Russell Wilson and company will have a better game in this one. And we know this Carolina defense is having issues covering deep balls. So just because Russell Wilson tries to go a little more deeper in this game, I think the Seahawks are going to beat the Carolina Panthers in this one, 20-10. Then for our final game on Monday Night Football, we have the Indianapolis Colts taking on the New York Jets. Indianapolis comes to this game 5-6 after they lost to the Pittsburgh Steelers, where they did not have Andrew Luck in that game. Andrew Luck has been cleared now for the Colts, so he'll be playing on Monday night. And for the New York Jets, they come to this game 3-8 after suffering a loss to the New England Patriots. Ryan Fitzpatrick did end up coming in at the end of this game, so we'll see if he'll be starting here on Monday night. But right now the Jets on a 3-game losing streak. And this one, I'm going to go with Indianapolis Colts. Andrew Luck coming back is going to be a little more healthy now, a little more relaxed. Hopefully see if this offensive line can help him out and keep him from taking any big hits, especially after coming back from a concussion. But I believe that he's going to have a good game in this one. It'll be interesting to see how Ryan Fitzpatrick does, playing possibly a full game this week. Again, not 100% sure if he is, but I'm guessing if he came in late in the game and a close game as well, I believe he'll probably be starting. And that is why I'm going to go with the Indianapolis Colts taking the win on the road against the New York Jets, 24-20. And that is it here for Week 13 in the NFL. I'd love to hear what you guys got to say. If you want to comment below, what do you guys agree with any of my picks in Part 2 here? Who do you think is going to be a breakout player in any of these games? I'd love to hear what you guys got to say. Comment below whatever you want. Again, also forgot to mention, if you want to watch Part 1 as well, just go down in the description below, click on the link, and it'll take you right to that. Also, if you want to follow me on Twitter, you can do that by following me at ColeMartins57. Love to talk about sports, so if you want to see what I'm saying or you want to talk with me as well, you can do that. Again, that is at ColeMartins57. If you like this video, please hit the like button, and if you want to see some more of my NFL videos or other videos that I post, please hit the subscribe button. I would appreciate both those. And thank you guys for tuning in this video, and you guys all have a great day.